Hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late. My lighting life together here. I cannot get the lighting right. I'm gonna have to hire somebody or something. So how y'all doing today? I am so excited about this topic. Okay, let me put this up over here. So I've been looking online for various things, and today I just happened to be looking at a documentary on cults, which is very interesting. Okay, it was about the different ones, which is you know it was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I think it was on, what was it on, Prime or Netflix? I don't know, one of them. I forget, Prime or Netflix. Okay, but it started off with Nexium and all that. So I'm gonna go over that, but I also want to go into some kind of way. I got to a video of, what's her name again? McClain, China McClain. Okay. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, man, this girl looks familiar. So then I remembered how my daughter used to watch her. And there was this Halloween song that she sang. I'm like, okay, I know who that is, right? But apparently she's speaking about religious stuff and all that, God and things like that right now. So I heard her talking about the Trinity, which was very interesting, actually. What she said about that, it was very interesting. And uh, other people have commented on it. So I just wanted to talk about that today, in light of what I typically talk about on this channel. Okay, so let's start off with Nexium. Okay, if y'all haven't seen this, if you have not seen this documentary, you know what? It's on Hulu. That's what it is. It's on Hulu. Yep. So if you haven't seen it, you got to go see it. It's really, really good. I think the word cult is in it. Okay, different cults or something like that. It'll be easy to find. Okay, just go search on Hulu. But the crux of all this, right, is that in the video I was watching about China McClain, this guy, what is his name? I don't know. I got him hashtagged in here, but he was like loving the story that she told about, that her father told her about the snake in the garden, right? And why, she's saying the things that she's saying about God and religion and the Bible and all that, right? I mean, gushing. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. Okay. And I'm listening to the story. I'm like, girl, I'm like, okay, we're going to get to that though, because my thumbnail, if you look at the thumbnail, it might, when you first look at it, look like a bunch of different snakes. Okay. Not one of them things is a snake. Not one. Not one of them. But they look like it. Okay. We're going to get back to that. So let me start over here. I got notes, child. I got to take notes because I got a lot to say. So let me tell you what's really interesting, right? So with Nexium, it's Nexivm. I don't know what that stands for. Okay, it's something though. All right, Nexium. So this was a movement, or it may still be a movement. I don't know. They could still be out there doing this stuff, but it sounds a lot like a, I don't know, like you would say like a new age type thing or something. It's not a religion really. It's more like I think they described it as a professional personal development type thing, movement. Okay. But let me tell you some of the stuff that they said about the leader of Nexium. Okay, which is really interesting, right? One guy said he was listening to him, the leader, in a conference, and I don't remember his name, but and he said he was listening to him in a conference and he thought to himself, man, this man knows shit that nobody knows. Okay. He's listening to the leader. This man knows stuff that nobody knows. Okay. Which makes him mysterious. It makes him better. It makes him more capable. It makes him special, right? That you know stuff I don't know. All right. So now I'm coming to you to get information that I don't have and for whatever reason can't get. All right. That's number one. Then they use things like, this group helped them transform. That was another thing that they said. It helped them evolve. All right. And one thing that he taught, this dude was something else. Okay. One thing that he taught is that the way you are now, you are indoctrinated, okay, in a way that is limiting your potential. Now, this is the leader of Nexium saying this, okay? You're indoctrinated in a way that's limiting your potential, okay? He talked about, reforming your image, reforming your image. So you have an image now, but it's a very limiting one, okay? And what we do here reforms that and makes it one that's more expansive, so you can do and be more, okay? So and you're not a follower or anything like that, right? You become a career disciple is how they put it. One lady said, because the women would get together and do like really awesome things, okay? And she said, she called it a badass bitch boot camp is what she called it. You know how we talk today, I'm a bad bitch and all this stuff. That's what they were saying over there in Nexium, okay? Now, as I go through this stuff, these different things, listen for the similarities, okay? And guess what? These people here in Nexium at the time, guess what they were? Right? They were right. And they had evidence and proof that what they were doing, believing, seeing was right, okay? Now, let me keep going, okay? Now, so she went into the whole thing about all the stuff they did. Now she got to something where it was called collateralizing your life. Collateralize your life. That's what you had to do. I'm like, what the hell is that? Collateralize your life. So what happened was, what you had to do was, say for instance, you're trying to lose weight, okay? And to collateralize your life, you would say, well, I'm going to go to the gym every day for an hour, or I have to pay my friend over here $100. If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, I'm putting up some collateral, all right? So that if I don't fulfill the promise that I've made to myself, all right, I have to then, pay you for that, right? And that's like small fries, because collateralizing your life got up to you like writing disparaging letters about people that you actually respected, okay? So that you have something to lose, which sounded a lot like that other one over there that Tom Cruise is a part of. What's the name of the thing? Them people, they do that same kind of thing, okay? I was like, man, that sounds real familiar. And then they branded her. Oh my goodness, all kind of stuff, y'all. It was just something else. But she ended up getting out, okay? But one thing she talked about, right, that I got, okay, and that y'all will get too, okay, especially if you're religious or something, or even not, even if you're not. They had to go through this process where she was branded, not a tattoo, like you brand a cow, that them hot ass things that they put on your skin to make the initials. That was done to her, and she said it lasted for like 45 minutes. It was the most excruciating pain she's ever been through, she said. But when she was done with it, okay, because one of the things that the guy told them was that women never follow through. Okay, women, they don't follow through. They say they're gonna not, they say they're gonna do something, they don't do it, and it's fine. Okay, so she said she didn't want to do this. All right, it hurt, it was terrible. She was like, what the hell are you doing here? But she went through it, and she said when she was done, she felt a sense of pride. She felt like, I am really part of this family. I'm really worthy of all the stuff, the wonderful things that are happening, all that, okay? And then after that, for her, it all like came tumbling down because she saw he actually branded his own initials in her skin. I mean, child's the whole thing. Terrible. So the next group they talked about was Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, you know, we know about the Jehovah's Witnesses, okay, who are also right, about what they are preaching and believing and knowing, okay, about who Jesus gonna get when he come back here. It ain't you, unless you're Jehovah's Witness, okay? They're right about that. I just want to start with that. Now, the lady who was talking about it, she was born into it, which is what I talked about, right? How wherever you're born, it's just a circumstance of being born into a certain family or culture or whatever, okay? She was born into Jehovah's Witnesses, and she said her mother loved it. Her mother was just like 100% Jehovah, okay? Which made her love it because she loved her mother, okay? And of course, the world is evil. That's the way they feel, the same way Christians do. The world is evil, run by Satan, and you don't be a part of the world and all that. And she, went on to her story was, it was very, very sad because she wanted to get out, but she did not want all the loss that was going to come with it, because, your family got to, I don't know, disavow you or something. You got to write a whole letter saying I'm leaving the Jehovah. It's a mess, and I just felt really bad for her. The next one was Children of God. Oh my God, this right here was terrible. So some of the stuff they said in there is that people are high on Jesus. Okay. They use music a lot. They produce top selling albums and stuff. The guy who was running it, he constantly had revelations from God, and he would write his, the stuff that he was getting from God. He was very visionary. They had a hope that he was going to help liberate them, from stuff. It's just a whole thing. And again, these folks are right too. Okay. And I have a pattern here, okay, coming up to what we're going to talk about with China and the stuff she said about the snake and all that, okay? These people are right as well, okay? Unified Nation of Islam. I didn't know about these folks. I thought it was just a nation of Islam, but United Nation of Islam is what it's called, okay? Now this dude right here, and I believe these are still here, but they may be another name, I don't know. But he said some angel scientists took him around the universe and showed him all kind of stuff. He even went inside the sun, child. He went inside the sun, and which gave him religious authority. Okay, he had religious, so he was the embodiment of God. All right. And the thing that showed people that what he was saying was the truth is he was actually producing results, like he was going in, he and his folks, were going into various neighborhoods and stuff, and, creating businesses and like really making a difference in neighborhoods that needed it, that really needed that kind of thing. And they said that, where before they felt really fixed, with him, they felt like now there was really some possibility for them to do things. Okay. Their possibilities expanded with the United Nation of Islam, and they, people trying to leave there too, child. They're trying to get up out of there. So let's get to Miss China McClain. All right. So I listened to her video. She's on Instagram. I don't think she's on YouTube, but I think the video I saw was from Instagram. And she was talking about the Trinity, how she did research. And she came to see that, God is supposed to be three. God is made of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and she was reading a scripture in John that was saying how Jesus said, you know, my Father is greater than me. So if Jesus said my Father is greater than me, that means he's not actually part of the Trinity. I mean, she had her ducks in a row. Okay, like she did the research and all that. So and of course, when she said that, because she prefaced it with, you know, everybody ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. Okay. You know how we are, okay, with our beliefs and religion and all this, okay? And everybody didn't like what she had to say, okay? So, but some people, you know, I listened to, two of them were, who was the first person? Preston Perry, Apologetics with Preston Perry, okay? I listened to his video because he said people were pinging him, asking him to respond to what she said. And it was really interesting because he said one person actually said, can you please talk about this? Because I never considered what she said, and now I'm confused. Can you please say something about this? Right. So they've gone to him because I don't know, they couldn't figure it out or whatever. But to him to help them make sense of what she was saying. Okay. Uh-huh. So there was that. So he made comments, and he I think he said he agreed with some of what she said. Excuse me one second. He agreed with some of what she said, but he actually said for some of the other things, you know, it was pretty irresponsible for her to say that. And I don't think I'll put a Pepsi commercial on here. It says something Pepsi. She said he said it was irresponsible for her to say that. And I read the comments and all that, right? These people in the comments are hilarious, child. I mean, they are so funny. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, so you know, he has his opinion about it. And this other guy, Ruslan KD, he had her on there, her video on there, talking about, now this is where I'm coming with this. Okay. So what I love is that she's actually looking at stuff and asking questions and putting new ideas about how this stuff could actually be interpreted. I love that. I think that's awesome. Okay, it's great. Absolutely amazing. I love it. Uh so he had her, you know, talking about, apparently her dad has a story about a snake in the garden. Okay. So, you know, he put her video up there and she's telling the story about her and her friend are in this garden. They're having fun. They're listening to music and all that. Or are they in the garden? I believe they start out in the garden or something. Anyway, or they're in the room. They're somewhere, child. But she gets to the garden some kind of way and she sees a snake. All right. In the garden. Then she goes upstairs, you know, with her friend again, and they're partying and do whatever. And then her friend tells her, hey, I'm about to go to the garden. And she says, oh, okay, go ahead. You know, so the friend goes out to the garden, you know, and sees the snake or something. So what she's saying is, you know, how messed up is that I knew there was a snake in the garden, but I didn't tell my friend when they told me they were going to the garden. And she was saying that to say, that's why I talk about God. Like, that's why I do what I do. That's why I interpret. That's why I share the Lord and all that, you know, with people, because I see a snake in the garden. And just because I'm telling you there's a snake in the garden, like, that doesn't mean I'm telling you what to do. I'm not telling you don't go to the garden, but I am warning you. This is actually what came up on the screen as she was talking. She said, I do videos talking to you about God to warn you about the snake in the garden. All right. The snake represents the frightening, listen at this. Listen. The snake represents the frightening afterlife that we are choosing by ignoring God's existence in this life. That's what the snake in the garden represents the frightening afterlife that we are choosing. We're choosing a frightening afterlife by ignoring God's existence in this life, is what she says. That's what popped up on the screen. Okay, it's our explanation of the snake in the garden. Okay. So let me say this here. I did another video where someone asked me to watch American Gospel. It's called American Gospel, Christ Alone. Okay, and that's on this channel somewhere, so y'all can go look at that. But I'm going to hear that I said for that one, okay? Now that explanation about the snake in the garden and all that, and my thumbnail, where you have if you look at the thumbnail, those things look like snakes. Not one of those is a snake, not one. Some of them are lizards. One is a caterpillar. Another one is like a bird tail or something. I mean, you know, all of them look, but you know, one is a insect. All right, look like snakes. And I put that thumbnail there because just because you see a snake in the garden, number one, does not mean it's a snake. You could 100% be mistaken. Okay, 100% mistaken. People have made those kind of mistakes, especially if you have had a bad experience, okay, with snakes. Then everything you look at it could be a stick, okay, and you running in a house yelling and screaming, they got a snake in the backyard, okay? That's number one. That's your perspective. That is, you know, filtered through your personal experiences, preferences, beliefs, fears, you know, accomplishments, failures, all that. Okay, that's you. So just because you say there's a snake in the garden does not mean there is one. What it means is you perceive something there. Okay, that's what that means, that you perceive something there. Number two, everybody ain't scared of a snake. Okay, even if it is a snake in the garden. Some people love snakes. They're like, what? There's a snake in the garden. Let me run out there and see so I can catch it and add it to my collection. Okay, so first, you ain't warning no, you know, who are you warning? If anything, you're telling them that, and they get excited. Like, really? Oh wow, what kind is it? What color was it? Where was it? Hurry up, tell me so I can get out there before. Oh, no, you know. So that's number two. Number three. Just as if you saw it when you were out there, that don't mean when they go out there, it's gonna be there. Okay. Now I get the metaphor that you're trying to use. Like I get it. I do. I 100% get it. But you also have to understand that there are many assumptions that go along with you thinking that you are right about what you see. Okay. There's a lot of room for interpretation, and I mean all kinds of stuff. Okay. That's why I kept saying as I went through these other what they're calling cults. These people are right. They're right. They're telling you there's a snake in the garden. Okay. NXIVM saw a snake. They got a snake right there. The Jehovah's Witnesses see a snake in the garden. Okay. Children of God, a snake in the garden. All of them see a snake in the garden. Okay. Do you believe in the snake that they see? Do you believe in the snake they see in the garden? No, you don't. Because they're not right. Okay. They don't see a snake. That's not a snake. But what you see is what? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Your snake is real, but theirs isn't. Guess who else see a snake in the garden? Muslims see snakes in the garden. Hindus see snakes in the garden. How many other people? Wiccans, like, you know, come on, keep going. Keep going. We got a whole garden full of snakes, okay, that everybody sees, but, you know, until they get to you, because you don't acknowledge their snake, you only acknowledge yours. And they don't acknowledge your snake, they only acknowledge their. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. Come on. So that story, it doesn't fly, okay? It's not, you know, it's you get an A for effort. All right, you do get an A for effort. But so when I watched American Gospel Christ Alone, it was the same kind of thing. Okay, it was the same kind of thing, and the bottom line is the same, whether it's Nexium, whether it's Jehovah's Witnesses, whether it's Christianity, whether it's I don't know. Which one is the religion? Islam is the religion, right? Okay. Islam or whatever else is out there. It's all at the lowest common denominator. It's the same. And let me tell you what it is. I can even tell you, I'll put it up on the screen because I put it on the thing here to make sure I can put it up there. Hold on a second. The right one. Is it the banners? Here you go. These three things. But I don't care what kind of cult it is. You could be worshiping trees and dirt and birds, whatever. It don't matter. It's all the same. Okay. These three things right here. Separation. Is that how you spell separation? Separation, guilt, and inability to change. All right. That's the whole. I don't care about all these other stories that's on top of it, whether or not there's a Trinity, whether or not Jesus was God, whether or not the united, what is it called again? The United State of Islam, whether that guy was, you know, ushered through the universe by scientists, angels, whatever. Okay, whatever the story. These are the three building blocks of all that. Okay, number one, I should have put guilt first. So I'm talking about that first. Number one is you guilty. Okay, you are guilty. Guilty of what? You might ask. Okay, just of being, because of something Adam did way back when. All right, you come into this world dirty and nasty and gross and guilty. Okay, and unworthy and all that. Okay, that whether it's Jehovah's Witness, whatever, don't matter. All of that, you're guilty. That's number one. Okay. Let me see. What else do I have here? And you're guilty because by way of another person, Adam, according to, the way I was taught in the Bible, all right? You're guilty because of a decision that he made. Because he had a choice. Adam had one job, just one, okay? And he screwed it up for everybody. He had one job. Okay. One job. All right. And then the whole human race is guilty. All right. So that's number one. Okay. Number two, because Adam had one chance to make a choice and screwed it up, that was it. You can only make a choice one time. You can't choose again. That's what religion is about. You can't choose again. That's why you had to have a whole God come down, okay, from wherever he came down from to die to make a choice for you, because you can't do it. Adam already made that choice, okay? You can't change, make the clock go back and you do. No, the choice was made. You can't make another one. You're done. You're finished. Okay, so now we got to have somebody come down here and die for us so we can, so we can make up for what we did, or what Adam did for us. Okay, that's another commonality, and that's what when I was looking at that documentary, about, because these people, they were talking about how they had a different way of interpreting the Bible, and you don't have to worry about, following all these rules. You don't have to wear, I don't know, no sex before marriage, all these rules you got. You got to, confess Christ and all that, whatever. And I'm listening to it, right? Because it was presented to me as something different. Like, this is not the old religion, from slavery and all that, where you got to, give your tithes and the man controls the house or whatever. It's not like that anymore. It's evolved. It's more, contemporary and relevant and all that. But these three things on the screen here, even if one of them is spelled wrong, that's still there. The guilt is still there. Okay, the guilt's still there. The fact that you cannot change, you've already made up your mind. All right, when you disobeyed God, okay, you made your choice, right? So now somebody had to die, okay, for you to choose again, to make a choice again for you, because you can't do it. All right, that's it. And the third one, separation. Okay, because of what you did, according to, it don't matter, according to who it is, Nexium, who are these cults again, child? Oh, I got, look, I just scratched this up. According to Nexium, Children of God, what was this other one? Jehovah's Witnesses. They had a United Nation of Islam. Who else up in here? And they, just pick a cult. It don't matter. Pick a cult. Pick a cult. Because of who we are and what we've done, and the fact that we only had one opportunity to make a choice, okay? We're now separate from God, all right? And now you got to get back. You got to do whatever you do, you got to get back some kind of way, okay? Whether it's the way Nexium did it, whether it's the way Jehovah's Witnesses did it, whether it's the way the Islam folks doing it, whether it's the way the Wiccans doing it, or whatever. Pick a religion, it don't matter. Pick one, okay? You got to get back to where you were, to a better place than this, okay? Because this ain't it, all right? That's, so all of this about the Trinity and, all this, she talking about snakes in the garden and this is why I do what I do. I mean, that's fine, okay, but let's not, act like this is different than anything else, because it's not. There is not one thing out there, not one religion out there that tells you you are not separate. Okay, you are not guilty and you can change your mind. Not one. Okay. So, and so the thing is, so what I talk about here, y'all want to talk about it here, but if you don't, go ahead and watch the videos. What I'm saying, okay, based on, you see my books in the corner up there, Firing God, I have it all up in there, okay? And on the channel, you even got to buy the damn book. Just, look at some of the videos or whatever. When I saw that all this stuff that I thought that, they were talking about and all this, that was not right. Like, I wasn't right. I thought I was right, 100% right. Okay. And the story about the snake in the garden, like that, it's hilarious, because you're saying you saw a snake and the snake represents something you have never experienced. Don't even know if it's there. Okay. But that's what the snake represents. So what the snake actually represents, it does not represent what you said it represented. Let me read again what she said it represented. The snake represents the frightening afterlife that we're choosing by ignoring God's existence in this life. Let me tell you what the snake actually represents. The snake represents, this is what it is. Imagine you have a room in your house. The door has always been closed, okay? Always, since the house was built, right? And somebody said, hey, there's a man in this room, okay, who controls everything. Okay, he controls your life. He does. Think of the Wizard of Oz. You know how the wizard was behind the curtain there? Like, that's how that man is in your room. Everybody he's the most wise. He's the most, all that. You cannot open that door. That's what the snake represents. The snake represents something that you've never experienced. Somebody else told you about it, and now you're afraid because you don't know what it is. So what happens when you're afraid of something? When you're like deathly afraid of something, what happens? let me tell you what happens. I'll give you a really good example. There is a video on YouTube right now that shows when Saddam Hussein came into power, how he and some of his people were on a stage. The auditorium was full of the highest level officials in the Saudi Arabian government. Okay, Saddam was on the stage with some of his people on the stage, smoking a cigar, sitting in a chair, and he would point into the crowd. Whoever he pointed to, the people in the back had guns. They would take that man outside and kill him right there. No, he didn't ask no questions. He didn't say, did you do this or didn't you do that? No, nothing. They took him out of his seat right then and there outside and shot him, killed him right there. And guess what? Saddam, he would look around the room smoking a cigarette and he would point at somebody else. And you know what happened? The men came from the back, took him out. By this time, the men in the auditorium are terrified. They're terrified, okay? Because they don't know, first of all, they don't know what the hell is going on, all right? Then they don't know if this man is going to point at them, okay? Because they don't know what's happening. It's like I didn't do anything. Like, what's going on? And they see their colleagues, these men that they've worked with for years, being taken outside and murdered with no explanation. Do you know what they did? Do you think they all got up and ran out the auditorium? Do you think they all got up and jumped Saddam and beat his ass on the stage? No. What did they do? They started worshiping him. They started clapping and yelling and crying. I love you, Saddam. Long live Saddam. I love I will do anything. They started praising because they were terrified. That's what happens when you have somebody in the room that you're told has control over your life. Okay? You start worshiping him. That's what you do. That's exactly what you do. Okay? That is what you do. That's what happens. That's what the snake is. Okay? You've never seen him. You don't know who's there. You don't know none of that. Okay? But you're terrified. You're absolutely terrified. Okay? Of the unknown. Of the unknown. That's what you're scared of. Okay? That's what's going on. All right? So, now that's the real, if you want to know what the real snake, that's what it is. It's not all this other stuff she was talking about. No, that's not what that is. Okay. So you got separation. Okay. I'm here and God is over there. So now I got to get there some kind of way. Okay. Some kind of way I got to get there. Whatever rituals or whatever. Okay. Whatever it takes, I got to get there. Okay. Hold on. Okay. And okay, I said separation, guilt. You've already decided, okay, you're guilty. Before you were born, okay, you're guilty. Don't ask me no questions. You're just guilty, okay? And inability to change. Adam had one job, he screwed it up for everybody. Everybody, okay? So what I did, and not even what I did, shit, I don't know what the hell happened. Okay, what happened? Let me just say that. What happened had happened is I got the opportunity to look behind the curtain just for a little bit. The curtain was moved and I saw it wasn't nothing back there. And then it was moved back. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. So I've been wrong about everything. All right, that's fine. Okay. All right. Now it wasn't that, that shit was scary as hell too. Right, to see that there was nobody there, but that's another thing, another video. So belief, what I found was that curtain, the curtain, not what's behind the curtain itself was belief. Okay, is belief, because I still have beliefs. I still got them. Okay, they're not the same as they were before. Okay, but I still have them. we all use beliefs to navigate this world. Like that's just what we do. Okay, that's what we do. But belief was the curtain. Okay, and I came to see and understand that. Okay, you know, that's what it is. That's belief isn't scary. Who are you scared of belief? Who's scared of belief? Okay, belief ain't shit. It can't do nothing without the believer. Okay, you're the believer. All right, you give belief the life that it has. Belief has no life without the believer. Okay, without the believer, it's just a damn idea. All right. So that's what I saw. Okay, that's what this, that's what this channel is about. Anyway, so the thing is, so let me put another thing up here for y'all, because I this might be, so this is what I tell folks a lot. Belief is not necessary. Okay. I don't need the curtain. All right. And in the last video, when I talked about why I'm no longer a Christian, I talk about that. Like I don't need anything between me and life. Okay, between me and the world, right? The curtain isn't necessary. Now I can hang curtains if I want to. That's fine. I can hang Jehovah's Witness curtains if I want to. I can hang Southern Baptist curtains if I want. All right. I can hang, whatever cult is coming up next. I can hang that up if I want to. I can hang up, mom curtains and Black person curtains and human curtains, whatever the belief is. It don't have to be religious, because beliefs span everything. All right. They're insidious. They're everywhere. Okay. I can hang those curtains if I want to. All right. It's up to me. And all that does is, beliefs do nothing but aid you in navigating the world. Okay. Some people have flat earth curtains up. Okay. Believing that the earth is flat. That's just a belief that helps them navigate the world, help them make decisions about things, and think about who they're going to hang out with on the weekend, and what they're going to invest their money and their time in and all that. Okay. Some people have Christianity curtains, which do the same thing. Okay, who am I going to hang out with? What am I going to teach my kids? How am I going to navigate life? How am I going to navigate the world? How am I going to get through bad times? There's nothing right or wrong about your curtain or mine. I got curtains up too. Okay, nothing right or wrong about that. They're just not necessary. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying over here. They're not necessary. Okay, and what does that mean? Let me tell you what that means. I got to put this up on the screen too. Okay, that means that God is real, but belief in God is not. Can we catch that? God is real, but belief in God is not. Okay, because what's real is real for everybody. What's real don't change, does it? It's real for all of us. Okay. Is gravity real, or can anybody just believe what they want to believe about gravity and have gravity change? I mean, you can believe what you want to believe. That's fine. You can make up whatever story you want to. Okay. But when you get out of bed in the morning, your feet go hit the ground. All right. It don't matter what your story is. Okay. That don't matter. Right. Because it's real. But belief in gravity ain't. Okay. Whatever that is, that's not real. All right. Okay. All right. So that's just what I'm saying here. Okay. And like I said, I really do appreciate that China is really thinking about these scriptures and stuff. I mean, I love to hear that, and what she said, I'd never heard that before, so I'm like, man, this is fascinating. This is awesome. Okay. That she's really, and getting people to critically think about stuff, instead of, because we do a lot of just taking, what mama and grandma and pastors and friends and, the news reporter on TV or whatever, have told us, and just running with that shit, just running. It's like that, like a relay race. Okay. Hey, hand me your belief. I got it, and I'm off. I'm off to the races, handing it to somebody else, not even looking to see what is this? Like, what did you give me? Like, what am I basing my life decisions on? You know, what am I teaching my kids? You know, what is this again? Like, no questions, none, just off to the races. You know, so anybody who actually stops and says, give me a second, let me look at this first, let me ask some questions. Okay, is this something that I feel, you know, can really help me to navigate this world? Like, does this resonate with me, or am I just doing it because somebody told me I should? You know, am I just doing it because I feel like I don't have the capacity to make another choice? Because somebody made it for me. Mama made it for me. Grandma made it for me already. Okay. So I can't choose now. Is that what the issue is? So anybody, I don't care what you're thinking about, you know, it doesn't matter. Hey, Daryl, you said please define real. So I said real is whatever is real for all of us. Everybody is real for me, for the dogs, for the plants outside, for the air, for my is real for you. Whatever, you know. So right now in this moment, what is real for everybody? Okay, that's what's real. That's what's real. And you know, when you go further into that, yeah, just go further into that and like really ask that question. What is real for everybody? You know? Yep. And it's real simple. I mean, it's as simple as simple is simple. Okay. Well, what is not real? That's the question. What's not real around here? Don't ask that one too. What's not real? Mm-hmm. Like right now in this very like right now, okay, what is not real for everybody? Okay. With either question, you'll get to the same place. Okay. But yeah, one might be a little bit easier than the other. I don't know. But yeah, so that's really all, you know, I wanted to talk about today. But you know, I don't, like I said, I don't think she has a channel, but I do know she has an Instagram page. Okay, so China, what's her name again? China McClain. It's in my thing. I think it's in the, what you call it, the title. That's it, China McClain. Okay, yeah. And these other people too, you know, they might be interesting. And I believe I hashtagged them in the thing. They might be interesting people to go watch. Because like I said, I mean, I'm not, you know, Cheryl knows, you know, that I'm not right or wrong about anything. Okay, which is why I can get on here and talk about what the hell I want to talk about. Okay, and be confident and genuine about what the hell I'm saying. Okay, so because I'm not looking for, you know, anything. I just love sharing, like I really do. I absolutely 100% love sharing, and I appreciate anybody, you know, who is open enough, you know, to just listen. And I say don't, you know, you don't have to. Remembering anything I said is not even like, don't even do that, you know. like just be here, you know. If you want to listen, fine, but when you leave, go and watch your business. Don't be like, well, what she said again. No, don't worry about that. You're good. You know, whatever you're doing right now, you got it. You're 100% fine. Good. All right, well, thank you, Daryl, so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I saw you commented on some of the other videos too. I'm going to get to that, and I'll answer those questions for you. Okay, so let me go on over to my other channel and I'll see you guys back here later. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye, Daryl.